Hi, welcome to the Wired
and Rewired podcast all about the hit HBO series, The Wire.
I'm Chris, and this is my 1,000th time watching The Wire.
And this is Ellie. It's my first.
If you're new to the force or a longtime veteran, we think you'll find something here to enjoy. Today, we are covering Season 4, Episode 6, Margin of Error. And as always, we begin by popping a recap. With Election Day approaching, the three mayoral candidates make last-minute appeals. Carcetti wrangles for votes as he responds to a potentially devastating smear. Norris and Greggs get a lead on the Braddock case, but end up being detoured. God, I thought that said devoured, which I was like, oh, okay. You know, these Apple recaps, they tend to get a little fancy with their words.
Yes, they do.
But devoured would be a bridge too far for them, I guess. So in any case, they got detoured was the answer. Following through on a promising video lead, Herc finds out just how elusive Marlo can be. With Delonda's well running dry, Namond is asked to step into his father's shoes. Omar is fingered for murder, but McNulty and Bunk suspect a frame. At school, Colvin's special class gets its first enlistees. Prez solves Dookie's wardrobe woes, and Randy is called out on a serious transgression, forcing him to confess to another one. Cuddy figures out why Spider and Michael might have been avoiding him. On Election Day, Carcetti is miffed when he learns that State Senator Clay Davis has been double-dipping. Later, he contemplates breaking some old habits for the good of his career. The episode was written by Eric Overmyer, and it was directed by Dan Attias. This is his third episode directing, and it premiered on October 15th, 2006. All right, Ellie, why don't you kick it off by busting out that epigraph?
Don't try this shit at home. Said by Norman Wilson.
Mm-hmm. And despite us being at home, we are going to try. We're trying to record a podcast while we do this. So. Yeah, okay. Well, any initial thoughts before we get to your predictions?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. This episode went really fast for me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because we're just kind of switching between storylines really quickly in this one. But yeah, it went fast.
Yeah, the pace of the Election Day, I think that really pushed it along.
I think you're right. That's what it is.
Yeah. You know, what's interesting to me about this is that for whatever reason, the Omar storyline, it really connected with me this time in a sense that where I feel like this is where I think I picked up the season a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And so, I just felt like I was kind of almost like rewatching it for the first, or watching it for the first time with you for the first few episodes. And now I really feel like, okay, now I know the next beats that are happening. So it's kind of interesting. Maybe it was just because the initial setup for me, the politics and the school didn't quite resonate with the first time I watched it, something like that. So anyway. All right, well, before we begin, let us discuss your predictions. You did quite well.
Okay.
So you said Carcetti will be more neck and neck with Royce, so not just neck and neck, but actually overtook him, so good job on that one.
All right.
There was no Lex. Now, so there was no Lex directly, so that was correct.
Yeah.
So interesting that now we'll see a little...
There's going to be a little
crack
clue that way.
Exactly, there you go. Kima and Norris make headway on the murder. So I'm giving you this a yes and a no.
Okay.
Because they've got a jailhouse writ.
They do, yes.
A snitch. Yes. But then, of course, they got cock-blocked by Rawls, so to speak. Herc's efforts for the video go nowhere. We'll need a new approach. Not only does it go nowhere, but it went in reverse.
Indeed.
So that was another good call. Prez will continue on his trajectory of making headway. We'll actually teach some math, which you got exactly right. Flipping the denominator. And then you said you weren't sure what the program with Parenti and Colvin will look like. So now you know. So now we'll talk about that. And then Omar is going to find out that he has been implicated in Hyde. So half right.
Yeah,
so he knows he's been implicated, but now he obviously is not hiding.
No, he did not have a chance to go underground.
Yeah, and Sherrod does not go back to school. I don't think we even saw Sherrod.
We don't even see Sherrod or Bubbles. Oh, we did?
No. Sorry, that was last episode.
Okay, yeah. No, we haven't seen him in this episode.
Yeah, okay. Yep, so no Sherrod in this episode. Yeah. So, all right, well, before we begin, there is a commentary from Dan Attias, the director, and writer Bill Zorsi, so I'll be sprinkling that in a little bit. But otherwise, unless there's anything else, we can get started.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish storylines. I've got Shmear. Wait, did I say that? Shmear.
Sure.
Namond Gets a job. The skinny girl Shakedown. Backing off Braddock again. Classroom confinement and confessions. Then I've got just election day affairs. This is kind of the montage of
I like
election
that.
day.
I like that.
Yes, affairs. And then an Arrested Omar.
Okay.
So that's what we got.
All right.
Okay, let's start with Shmear. It's 2 days before the mayoral primary, and we see churchgoers packing into services around the city. All 3 of the candidates, Royce, Gray, and Carcetti, are going to their churches with their partners and families. We do see at a church Randy arrive with his foster mom, Miss Anna, and he looks over and sees Bodie and little Kevin and some other crew members looking back at him.
Mm-hmm.
Inside one of the churches, which is the Reverend Franklin Church, the Reverend Franklin is in the church.
Okay, yeah.
We find out more about him later. There's a lot of music going on. Carcetti and Jen and their kids are there. Carcetti looks like a white guy, just clapping in the weirdest way.
That was intentional, apparently.
Good.
Though the guys were joking that they didn't think that Aiden actually was acting there.
Okay. Would not have been shocked. Yeah. His daughter, though, is just loving the beat.
Yep.
She's swinging along on the back of the pew.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have Wilson, Watkins, Grace Sampson.
Okay. Was she there? I don't think I saw her.
So.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had not seen her, but then I saw it later in another summary. And then Jerry are all there. Gray is in a much more sedate church. I think he might be Catholic.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is what I assume Carcetti would be if he was not trying to connect with black voters here, which he is.
Yeah.
Okay, because he's Italian, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Shall I continue?
Well, just a couple little notes. So apparently the church itself was called the Bethel AME. I think. Is that some? I'm not sure if that's actually, if I've got the initials right. But in any case, it's one of the biggest churches in Baltimore.
Okay.
And the Reverend, were you going to go into a sermon?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'll add that when you're done.
Okay. Well, Franklin preaches and he talks about choosing leaders who are honest and principled. He's quoting Exodus there. And we see Carcetti, the message clearly resonates with him. Mm-hmm. There is a particular line, fear God and hate covetous men, that Carcetti looks very thoughtful about.
On this Sunday, before the primary, when we will go to the polls to exercise our blessed franchise, our lesson comes from Exodus chapter 18. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people. And the people stood by him from the morning unto the evening. And Moses judged the people. And he shouldered this tremendous burden all alone. And one day his father-in-law said to him, Moses, why do you carry this awesome responsibility by yourself? You need other wise men to help you rule justly over the people. So Moses hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law and chose able men to rule over the people. Can I preach it like I feel it? Hey, hey, hey. This Tuesday, when we choose the men and women who will lead our city, we would do well to keep those standards in mind. Men of truth who fear God and hate covetousness.
And as folks exit, we do see the deacon. He stops by about a fellowship meeting at 2 p.m. I thought that was going to turn into something more, but never did. Mm-hmm. On his way out, Carcetti chats with Reverend Franklin along with Jen, and the Reverend looks over his shoulder. He notices Odell Watkins out there handing out Carcetti flyers to all the people. Carcetti jokes with Reverend Franklin that comparing him to Moses is unfair, and he even slips a little of the Lord's name in vain. Franklin laughs it off. He says, we'll save Jesus for your second term. It's a very funny scene.
Thank you for coming, young man, young lady, Reverend, Councilman, Mrs. Carcetti, how are you?
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Interesting sermon.
Polls seem to think you have a chance.
Well, we're within the margin of error.
Margin of error. That's an interesting phrase. And I see you've got Delegate Watkins working the crowd.
Well, I'm hoping he's not going to be the only one.
I tell you what, Councilman, I will keep an open mind until I walk into that booth on Tuesday. And if you win...
You're holding me to a high standard. Moses, I mean, Jesus, Reverend.
Tommy.
I'm sorry, I can't believe I said
Moses will do for now. We'll save Jesus for your second term.
And we also see Royce at his church when, church ends. You can see that he's kind of working the room there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, so the only other little thing is apparently the sermon itself was scripted, but the reverend was a real reverend, or is a real reverend.
Oh, is that right?
And he just so he just really like kind of incorporated it into his natural style.
Does not surprise me at all.
And Adius and Zorsi were very impressed by that. And these were all his real congregants who were in the church.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that was pretty neat too.
Was that his real choir?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, man, that's amazing.
Yeah, so that was,
How cool.
Definitely. But other than that, yeah, I think that, for whatever reason, I guess I would just recommend, if you haven't already, re-listening to the sermon.
Yeah.
And then going back to and then after seeing Carcetti talk to the Reverend, because I feel like you might be paying attention to it, but for whatever reason, it didn't resonate with me again. So I saw that and I went back and I was like, oh, it's, I was like, why do you carry this burden? I thought was like the message, but it's about Moses finding people that he trusts, that are able-bodied, that are the right type of men to lead. And so anyway, just thought that was pretty, it made kind of landed with me anyway, more directly.
Oh yeah.
And then, one line that I just appreciate is when he said our blessed franchise. I guess of the two of us, I'm the one who had, or whose ancestors would have the right to vote when this country was founded.
Sure.
And whereas, of course, African Americans, many minorities were disenfranchised.
Right.
And I think there's something really special about that line because when I saw people in 2020 like kind of disregarding the privilege that they have by voting, I think about him referring to it as a blessed franchise.
Yeah.
This is something that was fought for, that people lived without for many years and were oppressed because of it. And I think that if you're born with this franchise, because you live in this country, you might not appreciate the fact that there once was a time when you didn't have it.
Yeah.
And so I love that line. I feel like it's such a subtle.
No, it's a good point. I really didn't think about it when he said it, but now that you're bringing that up, it's
So anyway,
for sure.
And I don't know. I'd be. I would feel awkward asking African American friend, like, how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am quite curious to know if, like, is this just was this more theatrical, or is this something that is ingrained in the culture?
With you, yeah.
So anyway.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Well, downtown, Carcetti is campaigning with Wilson. There is a county science teacher who comes by, shares that she likes his ideas, but she can't vote in the city. They're all county people. It's pointless campaigning there. That's how Carcetti feels. Mm-hmm. Watkins then shows Carcetti a smear flyer claiming that Carcetti once defended a slumlord, Bobby Harrison, and it's complete with this fake photo of them together. Wilson says this is a last-minute smear job by Royce. Carcetti is extremely frustrated. We hear from them that a huge portion of Baltimore rents, I don't remember what percentage it is, but it's a huge percentage. And Jerry and Wilson say, we are ready for last-minute things like this to happen, and don't worry, we've got it. They're going to start planning a counterattack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently that was outside the African American Museum in Baltimore.
Oh, cool.
And so and I think that was, given that he was trying to court more of the black vote, that's why he was hanging out there.
Got it.
So, but yeah, it was kind of interesting to see like this initial good reaction, or, it's a positive reaction from a voter, and then you're like, and then it kind of goes for naught. So the director was saying that this was all kind of a misdirection, intentionally trying to make sure that there was enough tension throughout the episode. Because if, it's hard to say. I don't know how you felt going into this episode, if you knew who was going to win or not. Obviously, you thought it was going to get closer, but I don't know if you thought one way or the other.
I thought Carcetti would win.
Okay, so they were did you feel like during this that like maybe it was going to work out?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was
worked.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's sort of the what they're laying the groundwork here for.
Okay. Well, it worked on me.
Okay.
So back at headquarters, Carcetti is continuing to freak out, and he's just kind of having a tantrum. D'Agostino outlines a plan to print some kind of counter materials. Wilson, we find out, has worked at the Sun for a while. He's going to tap into an old press contact to show that the photo is a fake. But Carcetti's still rattled. So his team says, hey, just, stay on schedule and trust us. We can handle it.
Yep. Yeah, not much sure. I mean, I guess it's just it's interesting just to watch the candidate kind of the leader supposedly kind of like loses shit.
Yes.
And his staff
very much so.
Surrounding yourself with the right people, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the parallel to the sermon.
Yep.
That night, Carcetti and Jen are watching the news. They're talking about the flyer, which was apparently distributed in a lot of black neighborhoods. The polls are showing that Carcetti and Royce are tied with Gray behind. Jen is wondering, can this flyer hurt you? He explains to her how the photo was manipulated, what photo they used for it, and that Royce has said he knows nothing about it. It's not someone from his side. And he kind of laments that, before when it was a huge long shot, he didn't really care. But now that it's so close, it's totally killing him. And they hug. She offers him some comfort because she is a good wife. Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
So for whatever reason, I'm sure in previous episodes we just blew by any mention of the game, but I noticed that they mentioned it a couple of times. So when he's talking to Jen, he says, the last minute flyer, all in the game, and stay calm.
Yep.
But of course it's interesting that when he was playing Battleship with his daughter, he's like, he didn't care at all because he knew that he was way behind.
Exactly.
And now that he's so close, he is now
taste
embittered,
it.
right? He's now exactly that's exactly right. He's embittered to it, the fact that he might lose and having been that close. So it's very fascinating kind of human emotion or human response to it. So and then just want to call out that the newscaster who is, I think, who's broadcasting the election results throughout, that was the reporter from season 3 who first breaks into Amsterdam. Not the guy that Colvin made the deal with, but he walks up and he goes,
lost
holy
the story
Christ.
To.
Yeah, exactly. So he graduated to being an anchorman. So good job, buddy.
Good job. You did it.
Yep.
All right. In the morning, Wilson comes over to pick up Carcetti, apologizes to Jen, but finds out that Carcetti has already left for work. He didn't sleep the night before. He's been stressing over the strategy. Wilson does an oh shit and quickly heads to the office. We find out there that Carcetti's been trying to change up the schedule. He wants to do these other things. Wilson advises him again to trust the staff and to get on the morning talk shows that he worked so hard to get for him. And he says, these people are professionals. Don't try this shit at home.
Yeah.
So great. I love Wilson. He's such a good character.
He really shines in this episode for sure.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's a fascinating kind of journey to watch Carcetti.
Yeah.
And Wilson just continually like roping him.
Yes. I think is this
back.
where like Carcetti's like, I might have a spot for you in my administration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, those morning shows go well. He's in a better mood, it seems, but he's still uneasy about the smear campaign. And Wilson comes in and says, hey, guess who is interested in backing you? It's Senator Clay Davis. What does he want? Shit. You got that Baltimore shit again, this time from Wilson. What does Davis want? He wants to get paid. Probably $20K, maybe $30K. Carcetti hates the idea. He says he won't promise anything policy-wise, but Wilson says, it's just money that you're losing. And D'Agostino says, could be the edge that you need.
Yeah.
So they're just going to pay up.
Incredible.
God, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah, especially given what happens at the end.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy to think about. I guess when it's not your money, what do you don't really, or you're willing to like just
I know.
take that risk.
Right.
You're risking other people's money.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I imagine that's pretty common with a lot of campaigns.
Yeah,
And
I guess
can't-
if they have the money and there's not that much campaign he has left, given that there's no other Republican or that there's not a strong other contender.
Right.
Consider if he gets the nomination,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay, well, they meet Davis. Davis says that he can split his ticket with them and casually demands 20 grand, passes that along on a napkin. They agree to it, but they are busy. They cannot stay for lunch. They have to get going. Davis says, that's okay. Just leave enough for the tab. And he's joking. Haha, he's hilarious. Is that not so funny? Carcetti and Wilson just kind of look at each other like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You know I can't publicly endorse you, not at this late hour.
And what are we talking about?
I lay back and I do what I usually do on election day. I see you all get a push in the 7th and 9th districts, say, and maybe that piece of the 11th west of Fremont. I split some of my tickets for y'all. I split my walk-around money. You know, the usual to and fro. Politics is a good thing, partner.
That's a minority opinion.
Let's order. I'm hungry enough to eat the horse you rode in on.
If you don't mind, we're a little busy for a sit-down lunch.
Oh, no doubt. Just leave enough for the tab.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill Zorzi, the political expert on the writing staff, just you almost have to hear it, but he just like, characters like this don't exist in real life. And of course, like he says it so deadpan, and it's just like, oh my God, yeah. It's like there's probably like a dime a dozen, and it's November, it's time for me to get paid.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, and apparently I didn't know this, but I guess like at some point walk around money was illegal, but an appeals court actually now makes it legal.
Oh, really?
Now the interesting thing, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but it comes up a little bit later, and we'll talk about like what the walk around money is actually used for.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to put politics to rest for now until we get to election day. And I'm going to move on to Namond, if that's okay. So
Sure.
Namond getting a job. Namond and his mom, Delonda, are planning to visit Brianna. They think maybe Brianna has something good for them because of Weebay's sacrifice. Delonda is expecting Brianna to line up some drug work for Namond. But when they get there, Brianna tells them she's sorry, but she's cutting them off. They have been amply compensated thus far. Now there is no more Barksdale organization. There's no more money. And she does not care about protecting Avon anymore because, of course, she believes that Avon's involved in D'Angelo's killing. And she said she wanted Namond to be there so that Delonda couldn't lie about what happened. So we don't know what, but clearly Delonda's done something with money that should have lasted longer.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah.
You can't do this to us. Bay took the weight for all y'all.
And you've been amply compensated, but time moves on.
Not for Bay, it don't.
What I meant to say is there's no more money coming in. No more business. Avon is gone, so is people.
Shit. You seem to still be doing all right for yourself.
There's nothing more I can do for you.
Bay know everything. You forget that?
And what's he gonna do? Who's he gonna tell? And what do I care if he does? Bay never heard me say a damn thing about business.
What about your brother? Avon could be gone long if Bay gets to speak in his mind.
I couldn't care less about Avon. The thing is, I wanted you both to hear it from me. So there ain't no lies from here on in. She even paid enough over the last 2 years that you should have enough money going forward, son. Your father has not been disrespected here. You both got what was coming. But ain't nothing lasts forever.
Yeah. Okay. Shall I keep going? You look like you're focused on something.
No, no, sorry, just a couple of, no, the main things are just, once again, Bill Zorzi just was remarking how Sandy McCree, the actress who plays Delonda, is such a nice lady, and Delonda is such an outrageous bitch.
Yes.
Is what he called her. So that was funny. And then just want to call out now that the actor who plays Namond, Halito McCullum,
Yeah.
he really does an outstanding job in this entire episode. Because, just starting from that conversation of them getting in the car.
Yeah.
And how he's like all puffed up. And, he's like, whatever. He doesn't know what it's about. And then she starts like, shining him on. And then he's like, oh, yeah, like father, like son, no doubt or whatever. And then he goes in and he is just like, just faded into that couch. He doesn't want to talk, and so, I mean, I think it's an interesting question. I think that for what she spent it on, I think she probably just spent it on just assuming that she would just have it forever. Like this income would be there forever. And so she never once anticipated that, the next month she would have nothing. Right. She was just basically spending every dime that came in because it kept coming in such regularity. So, So, I think other than that, and of course, Michael Hyatt, she's such a treat to see.
God,
and
she's so good.
I'm trying to remember if this is the last time we see her or not. It might be. So,
really?
She just comes in and kind of drops his hammer and now like sets Namond off on his journey. And then the last thing that they mentioned was that Dan Adius, the director, said that he wanted to make sure that she was talking directly to Namond. Okay. And then that, of course, you have this push in on him. Yeah. Just to make sure that the weight of it is landing on him. Yeah. That message. So, really, really nicely done scene. And of course, her response, I couldn't care less about Avon. It's it's just a fascinating turn for that whole organization.
Okay, well, back at home, Delonda tells Namond he's going to have to start dealing. And he says, I should quit school and sell like my dad did. But she says, oh, no, you're not quitting school. You're staying in school. She insists she's going to get Bodhi to give him a package. And, Delonda, she says basically she doesn't take any shit from anyone. That's why Bodhi's going to give a package. But Namond says that's not true. Mm-hmm. You just took a no from Brianna. Yeah. She didn't like that. And when Namond brings up too Brianna's claim that they already got enough money, Delonda says that Brianna lied. Mm-hmm. She then calls Weebay, tells him he's getting taken advantage of, given his sacrifice, but Bay does not seem like he's that upset about it. I don't know if he saw it coming or what, but his reaction to it all is just it's almost matter of fact. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. That's kind of interesting.
You gonna have to step up now, Nay.
Hey.
Be the man of the family. You older than your daddy was when he went out on the corner.
That's what I've been saying. Damn. He quit school.
You ain't quitting school. Not yet.
Mom.
But you are going out on your own. You gonna ask Bodhi for a package.
What if he say no?
I ain't take no for an answer.
Just dead.
What you mean?
With Brianna.
Hand me the damn phone.
And what she said about you already getting paid enough money?
She a lying bitch, Namond. You see? There's a lot about this world you just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the joke that the Adius and Zorsi were saying was like, you have this guy who's in prison, kind of being nagged by his wife, you know, and he's just like, you almost feel sorry for this guy who murdered a bunch of people.
Right, I know, so true.
But yeah, it was almost like the reaction I kind of looked at it was like he must have had this conversation with the same conversation, not exactly about money, but her calling to complain about this, that, and the other thing. He's just got to sit there and listen. Yep. So, and he's probably done that a few times. So based on just what we've seen of Delonda. So yeah. So but I think that you're probably right. Like, what's he gonna do? Yeah. Like, okay, well, I'm in here.
That really sucks.
Yeah. I can put money in my commissary. If you want, but anyway.
Okay, well, back to Namond, who is playing video games because there's no school that day, and not for one of them Jewish holidays, but because of Election Day. Delonda doesn't like it. She says they're getting dressed and they are going to go see Bodhi. So they do. They get in the car and Delonda talks to Bodhi, who is reluctant to hire Namond again due to his previous lack of work ethic. She says, we talked about it and that won't be a problem now. You can see Namond just looks kind of like he's shriveling into himself. Exactly. Again. Mm-hmm. So Bodhi gives in and says he's going to give him a package. And after she leaves, Bodhi calls her a dragon lady and says that he has insight now on why Nay is the way he is. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be there is a part here where Namond tries to get Michael in on the package, but I'm going to touch on that later when we get to election day stuff. Okay.
Look, Namond's been, what's the word? He been inconsistent. You know, sometimes he be doing good, then other times he just...
We talked about that. He gonna do better. Ain't you?
Election day special, 2 for 2.
I don't know.
Oh, I do. You gonna get this boy his own package, or there gonna be some drama. You want me to talk to Weebay? Maybe you want to talk to him. I give you his number. He got a cell phone.
All that's not even necessary. I got all the respect in the world for Bay.
Then show some for his family. Make me proud. Here.
Damn, boy. Your mom's what niggas call a dragon lady.
Yeah, she don't blink.
Yeah, give me some insight, though.
To what?
Why you is what you is.
Anyhow, so that happens. Namond comes back later after his first day of dealing and faces some more pressure from his mom. She says that she's counting on him. He goes to his room. He kind of watches the election news for a moment, then back at the video games. And if you look at his face, he looks like he's just on the verge of tears.
Yeah.
You know, his eyes are red, the way that his like kind of bottom lip is sort of trembling. He's got the weight of the world on him. Now he's got to be like, step up and be a man.
Yeah.
No more kid time.
Nope. I mean, yeah. So, but he's playing video games, right?
But he's playing video games for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although those guys who were in the stash house in season 3, like the big shootout with Omar, they were also playing video games.
Video games.
They were playing Halo. I remember.
Yep.
But he didn't actually sell anything, right? You got that part,
right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he just, the whole package is sitting on his bed.
Yep. Right there.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, I drew the parallels where you were talking about this to Randy.
Yeah.
After he learns about what happened to Lex.
Yeah.
Just, you know, you're just going along, things are fine.
Yes.
And then something awful happens or whatever, and you're graduated to the next level, whether you want to or no.
Loss
kind
of innocence.
Social promotion or whatever, yeah. So anyway. Yeah, it's a rough scene, but you know, Halidi McCollum really does a terrific job in this going this whole way.
Agree. So, yeah. All right, let's get to Skinny Girl Shakedown. Sidner's in the van. He's watching Marlo's hangout. He looks completely exhausted. Herc arrives with coffee and pushes him to keep going at it. Leaves with a little knock.
Yep. Shaving haircut.
Yep. So later, we find that Marlo is out there talking with Chris and Snoop. There's some others. And he says that he's going to be picking up a skinny girl from New York. They ask, do you want so-and-so to do it? He says, no, I can do this myself. Sidner has apparently caught this on tape because later we see in the van Sidner, Herc, and a lip reader. And the lip reader is interpreting the conversation. Sidner thinks that he's referring to a girlfriend, but Herc says no, skinny girl is cocaine. Sidner doubts that Marlo would go and handle the drugs himself. But Herc says, he's a mope. He's an easy target. He's not smart. He's an idiot. So Herc continually underestimating all of these guys. Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah, he's a frustrating character.
He is.
Like,
he is.
Why do you think that this is anyway?
But he's representing something that really, I'm sure, exists.
Oh yeah,
that persona,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah.
Yeah,
no, we actually see that in multiple areas in this episode, so we'll talk about that again. But so there's that. Apparently it snowed the day before they were shooting the scene with the phone call.
Okay.
And they were just joking about how it's supposed to be September, and you can see their breath and stuff, which is kind of funny. So but the other part that I really like about this is that Jamie Hector, who plays Marlo, is a good actor playing a bad actor.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Don't want nothing to go wrong. Like,
yeah, I know.
One time I got to pick up the skinny girl.
Yeah.
All right.
It's true. Yeah.
And it's just hilarious. And of course, but if you have a stupid cop, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe he's saying exactly what I need to hear.
I need to hear. Yes.
So anyway, yeah. So, and it's like a kind of a smart plan by Herc, except he just doesn't figure out how to
Yeah.
So anyway, but it is kind of funny that the whole crew of Marlo's crew is all in on it as well. Where, Monk takes the phone call.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
Stuff like that. So just kind of
yes.
And then I just wrote down. I'm not sure how many times you say don't try this shit at home, but this was another one. Don't dive into the deep end unless you're sure you can swim. So anyway,
So
where
true.
Sidner is skeptical, and
Right.
Herc is like no. So anyway,
It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, Herc and a transportation officer, I think, are awaiting Marlo at Penn Station. Once he spots Marlo, they alert some other transit cops to go stop him. Herc doesn't want to be there and be part of it, so he can kind of surprise him later. But Marlo quickly finds a sister dressed in African garb, I think. And he goes over and offers to help. Well, doesn't even really offer to help. He picks it up, starts talking to her. I want to go meet your husband. I want to make sure you're safe. She says, I'm fine. I don't need you, but whatever. Then they both get arrested. She is like, what's going on? And you can see him kind of have like a little knowing look on his face when this happens. It worked. Herc finds out later that the bag was full of nothing but women's clothes and they need to be released. And at that moment, Herc knows that Marlo played him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you assume. I
assume.
guess.
Yeah, I would think.
he might just be like, oh.
That's true. That's true. I might be putting too much into that.
Yeah,
look.
exactly. No, he's still dumb. So,
Yeah.
that is to say, Herc thinks Marlo's still dumb. The one thing that I didn't realize, but they mentioned in the commentary, is that Herc and Marlo actually had already met. So I don't know if that would have made any difference if he had arrested him. But, anyway, it doesn't matter. That was an interesting note.
Yeah,
but
I
but
forgot about
the other
that.
part of it that's kind of interesting is how Marlo really elegantly talks this woman up.
Yes.
Right? He doesn't he doesn't try to say,
he doesn't act
I'm just here to help
creepy. He
you.
just- yeah, exactly.
So it's really, that's a side of Marlo that we hadn't really seen
Yes.
before. And so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Okay, well, I'm going to move on to backing off Braddock.
Okay.
Again. Okay. Greggs gets word from Norris that there's a prisoner who's offering info on their big case, the murder of Braddock, the witness to a murder. Norris wants to move fast, partly because he wants to not partly. I mean, I think totally. He just wants to F with the downtown suits, basically, is what he says, right? Like, they messed with our case, and so let's go back after him. And Greggs looks game. He kind of convinces her, they did this to you. Come on, let's go after him. So she agrees.
No, he stepped out. Hang on a second.
Jailhouse snitch?
Call last overnight. Warden talked to him. Says for deal and give us the case.
No shit.
We'll write up a writ, send it over to the state's attorney's office, get them to sign off on it first thing tomorrow morning.
What's the rush?
We jump on this. We cause a major shit stake right before the election. If this guy really knows why the witness, what's his name?
Braddock.
Was killed.
Oh, might be bad for the mayor.
If it's not bad for the white boy Carcetti.
And you care either way?
Fuck no, I don't give a shit either way. I don't even vote. But it'd be fun to fuck with them downtown suits. Maybe get you on the 11 o'clock news, get a little payback for all the shit they put you through.
Later. Oh, sorry. Do you want to say anything about that before I move on?
To
Rawls showing up?
Yeah, the one thing I just mentioned that I thought was interesting was Norris saying, I don't even vote.
Yeah, exactly.
And he doesn't care. And it just reminded me of McNulty talking to Teresa in last season, where he's like, what was the president? Who was the guy we were voting for?
Doesn't affect anything I do.
So, yeah, exactly. And I have to believe that that's got to be generally pretty common refrain for people that are dealing with, like, essentially terrible bureaucry all the time. It's
I could see that with, like, federal government, but this seems, I'm seeing a lot for a city council and mayor that has a huge impact on the police. So you'd think that they'd care a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe
about
so.
this kind of a more local vote, but maybe not.
I don't know. That's a good question. Or maybe he just figures like they're all going to be the same.
Yeah,
roughly.
exactly. All right, Rawls shows up very suddenly, which gives Holly and Crutchfield a bit of anxiety. They share in their own way. As he comes into Landsman's office, we see that Landsman is reading a Reader's Digest. Just kidding. It's a nudie magazine again.
Once again.
Magazine. Yep. Landsman sets the magazine down, stands up, and Rawls says that basically that the Braddock case, making progress on the Braddock cases is a no-go again.
Yeah.
You know, Landsman says, I've been letting the chips fall where they may. Well, that's not going to work. Now that we're only a day away from the election, Rawls picks up the magazine and looks at it, which is interesting. Like,
right? Yeah. Okay. You got
knowing
that.
what you know about him.
Mm-hmm.
And then says he needs 2 detectives to be reassigned to polling places because the department's short. Oh, Rawls and Greggs? Sounds good. That's his answer. So Landsman knows that he just wants Greggs and Norris out of the way. And so he does it. He sends them to go babysit voting booths.
Sir, at ease.
Man, I hate it when the bosses creep below the 8th floor.
Yeah, well, I need a moment just to unclench my asshole.
Sir, the Braddock investigation.
It's coming. Norris and Greggs are ringing it out.
I fucking know it's coming. Commissioner Burrell had a visit first thing this morning from State's Attorney Demper himself, asking why, one day before the primary, our detectives were trying to rid out a jailhouse snitch.
The tip came when it did. I didn't push it, and I didn't hold it back either.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Exactly, sir.
Sergeant, fuck your falling chips. If Braddock was killed because he was a witness and we break the case one day before the primary, Royce hates us forever. And Royce might win the election. If Braddock was killed for any other reason and we break it today, then Carcetti hates our guts. And Carcetti could win.
I see your point.
Tactical tells me we're still about 20 bodies short for manning the polling places. I want you to detail 2 detectives to uniform election duty immediately.
Let me guess. Norris and Greggs.
Sounds good. That'll report to Tactical at 1300 today for election orientation. They can pick up their writ and talk to their snitch on Wednesday. American democracy. Let's show those third world fucks how it's done.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So, yeah, we always knew that Rawls was politically savvy.
Yeah.
So that part, the way he lays it out, of course,
surprising.
right? So, whereas Landsman, we also know has some political game, but this time he didn't see it far enough in advance.
Right.
So that was kind of interesting. I loved how you picked up that Rawls picks up the Porno Mag.
Yeah.
So
only on the second watch.
Yeah. Anyway, and so but otherwise, it's a really, it's an interesting kind of commentary because obviously the true victim in this particular conversation is good police work.
Right.
They have to be aware of the politics because the politics affects their livelihood essentially, and a murder case is not as important as their livelihood. Because anyway, so it's just such a shame.
It is.
But
it is. They should be acting on this as quickly as possible so that they don't lose leads, so they don't lose evidence. But no, they can't. They gotta stick their hands in their pockets.
Yep. And a snitch in a jailhouse is almost certainly at risk. So that fact that you're waiting a single day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's move on to classroom confinement and confessions, the 3 C's. Prez catches Dookie, Randy, Namond, and Michael coming to school. He asks Dookie to come with him. Is Dookie in trouble? Well, let's find out. They head to the locker room, and he is helping Dookie out with a plan for him to get washed up and is offering to wash his clothes regularly for him.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So sweet.
Makes me so happy. Yay for Dookie. Somebody cares. In the halls later, we see Namond walking with Monel and Paul, who we know recently, quote, hooked up with Tiff while Randy kept lookout. She tries to say hi to the boys, and they call her a skanky hoe.
Yep.
But good, though, they say as they pass. Nay has to turn around and offers 50 cents. Says that she could probably do all 3 of them. It's disgusting.
Yep.
It's, oh, God, it's awful. And she just looks completely ashamed.
Yep. Yeah, it's
yuck.
And on top of everything else, like Namond, had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And yet he had to open his mouth.
He has to open his mouth.
And it's just what a
when the devil gets in him, Chris.
Right.
Isn't that what he said?
Right. Was it the devil or the evil? Yeah.
Oh, the
But
evil.
yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, Paul and Monel, they just suck. But I don't know. It's just anyway. It's just sad.
Yep.
So I have to. I was thinking about, is there a life lesson? But it just felt so just gross. I mean,
know.
You shouldn't just you can't expect that. You have to know the person.
Yeah.
And if you're someone's willing to do something with you, doesn't guarantee anything in the future.
Right.
You just have to, and so you have to trust that the person that you're
Right.
with is going to treat you with respect. And if you're not sure about that, then don't be with them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the best that I got.
I
but,
mean, yeah.
And then, but actually, I will say this. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is slut shaming is out.
Yeah.
Like, someone wants to have sex.
Right.
Great. Fine.
Yes.
As long, ideally they're doing it safely. As they're using protection or whatever. But okay, fine. So she had sex with 2 guys in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Good for,
hey. Keep in mind they're all 13.
Well,
okay?
right.
So, that part, no, none of them should be doing that. Yeah. None of them can make those decisions around consent.
You are 100% correct on that. Thank you, Ellie. That was an important distinction.
But yeah.
So let's assume of
adults,
age of consent.
Hell yes.
Yes. If that's how she wants to live her life, good for her.
Get your freak on.
Nobody gets to judge anybody else for how they
Right.
live. So thank you for man. That was. If you would let that go,
making sure
we would have been. We have 5 listeners. They all would have canceled us.
I know exactly.
Please,
especially with everybody putting up, pictures of this is what 15 looks like.
Right. Exactly.
Woo.
Oh, is that a thing? I don't know.
Oh, it's a thing.
Oh boy.
We could talk about that later.
All
It's
right.
for a after podcast
Okay,
chat.
sounds good.
Okay, so Samson is talking to the staff about this new university funded program for kids with serious behavior issues. Tells them that they're going to have 10 students to start the first class. We see that some of the teachers are really excited to send their toughest kids to these classes. Some are disappointed that there's only 3 going from their class.
Yep.
It's interesting to see, but I get it.
Yep.
Prez is teaching fraction division when Donnelly and Sampson come in to pull students into that classroom, or from that classroom to a new classroom. So we've got Namond, Zenobia, and Darnell. There are others going to this new program. Someone else asks if they're getting arrested. Prez says, no, they're not getting arrested. The kids are all crazy in every class when this happens. You get the big, ooh, And as they walk to the new classroom, Namond notices in an officer room that there is a guard talking to Tiff, who is crying. Okay. Now this is, I feel like, okay, we'll talk about this some more, but this is a little interesting territory for The Wire to get into. So I'll tell what happens here, and then I can just share my feelings here. Randy, Paul, and Monel are waiting outside of Donnelly's office. She comes out. She does the one finger beckoning into the room to Randy. She questions Randy about the Tiff incident, which she calls a rape. Randy says it wasn't rape, that she wanted to. How does he know? Well, he admits to being the lookout at that point. And she says, there's going to be an investigation and a suspension at least, and starts calling Miss Anna. So let me pause here. I just think it's a little, I don't know. It's questionable territory to me to that she, to even intimate that she wanted it and then is lying that it's rape.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just feels like precarious territory to get into for a television show. Not that, I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
a false accusation.
Yes,
for her to,
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
she got insulted. So
yes.
she makes this false accusation.
Yeah. And I know it's more nuanced than that in the show. It really is. But it just feels like, ooh, I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. That's all.
Yeah, I don't.
I just have to acknowledge that is something that makes me feel kind of icky about this whole thing.
Are you saying that you feel like it's a characterization of a person that if someone, how do I say this? If someone had a kind of a pre-existing notion that this is something that people do.
Yes.
That by putting it into the show.
It reinforces it. Yes, that's what it feels like.
Yep.
A little, or like it's getting into that territory for me.
Yeah, I mean.
And so, yeah, that's, I like I said, I know it's more nuanced than that when you really watch the thing, but, you know, if there was even some part of Tiff when this first happens that looks a little reluctant or coerced or something, we know that they're giving Randy money. Are they giving her money? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
That's it. Just made me uncomfortable.
Given how terribly I stepped in it a little while ago, I'm just gonna. I hear what you're saying. I don't really think I have anything. to offer.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Sorry, but I will just want to mention, of course, that it is one of those moments in the show where Namond walks by, sees Tiff crying, talking to a police officer, and just shrugs it off. Yes. And it's just really easy to miss, right? You might not even see that it's happening. Right. Who's that in the principal's office or whatever? And so, you know, it's just, again, one of those things where you only kind of figure it out afterwards what happened. So,
Okay, well, let's see here. So Ms Donnelly's calling Miss Anna, and at that moment, Randy is freaking out. He says, basically, he's going to tell her anything that he thinks can get him out of this. So he's just rattling things off. You know, he knows who stabbed somebody else's tires, yada, yada, yada. But then there's kind of a pause. He mentions knowing something about a murder.
Mm-hmm.
Donnelly ends the call very quickly. I don't even know if she had Miss Anna on the other line, but this has gotten her attention.
Yeah.
No, she crazy.
She says you were there.
I wasn't. Saja wasn't even raped. She wanted to.
How do you know? You weren't there.
I saw her go in with him.
Go in with who? This is no time to play, young man. You are in very serious trouble. Who did you see her go in the boys' bathroom with?
Paula Monell.
Paula Monell. And what were you doing?
Lookout.
So you were involved.
But I didn't even see what happened.
You were standing guard.
No, listen, Monell gave me $5 and just told me stand by the door and holler if someone came. This ain't even fair. I ain't even do nothing.
You stood lookout while 2 8th grade boys raped an 8th grade girl.
But she wanted to.
That's not what Tiffany says. There'll be an investigation. You'll be suspended. You could very well be expelled. Maybe even face criminal charges.
Ms Donnelly, please don't. Ms Donnelly, please don't call my foster mother. I'll tell you everything I know about this.
I know all about it already.
No, but I know some other stuff. Like who been thieving from the teacher's lounge, or attacking gym lockers, or
Miss,
even...
Jeffries, please.
Ms Donnelly,
this is Mrs. Donnelly calling from Tillman Middle.
Listen, I know. Remember the boy who cut Mr. Philmont's tires? I know who did that. I know about a murder. I do.
Later, we see Donnelly is talking to Prez. Prez says, can I please give Randy's information to a cop that I trust, instead of letting it go through the system where he's going to be on the record and all the concerns that go with that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing I don't understand, and I can't imagine that you would actually know the answer here either, but Miss Anna seems like a caring person.
Yeah.
And so it's strange to me that Randy is so afraid of Miss Donnelly calling her.
Right.
Right? Because it's now the second time that Donnelly has used that. And I'm just like, okay, so the first time that Randy was in the office, he was doing something wrong. He did something wrong.
Yeah.
He was, skipped out of class, was in the wrong lunch, whatever. And so then he gives up the people that were tagging the lockers.
Yeah.
This time, though, he, all he did was stand outside and assume that everything going on inside the bathroom was consensual.
Yeah.
Right? So he wasn't, other than being out of class, he wasn't doing anything wrong that he knew about.
Right.
And yet he was terrified of Donnelly calling Miss Anna. And I guess it just means that Miss Anna would just give him up and put him back in a group home.
Yeah.
I think, or put him in a group home.
I think that's his fear. Yeah.
Okay. So
and
he
the
just
group homes are so bad, right? Like we know that that's the case.
Yeah.
I think it's like a it's like a Maslow's hierarchy, right? Like your shelter, your home is one of those things. Like my mom grew up super duper poor and had not enough to eat. So still today, it's like she freaking hoards food, loads up her plate more than she needs, constantly. I cannot get out of that mindset. And it just makes me feel like that's probably a thing for Randy too. Like he has been without a stable home. So anything that could potentially mess that up freaks him out.
There you go.
That's what I think.
That's it. Yeah. Oh yeah, that is it 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Excellent. Okay. Thank you for clearing that up for me.
Well, you're welcome.
Sorry, you finished off the conversation, right? So
yes.
Just a note. Chrissy and Adius both were just remarking about Maestro Harrell, who plays Randy, just like the way that he goes, the panic in his voice, and then when he has to give up the murder, the way he just delivers that line.
Yes,
he's got this
so
catch, and so just
it is so good.
It's just and again, like she's. The way they overlay the dialogue, where she's just like completely ignoring him, he's like throwing everything out,
rattling. Yes.
Yeah, it's just
it lands.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Randy's he's in deep now, and
he is.
Just being in a way, kind of being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I know.
It just sucks.
Again.
Yep.
All right. Well, Samson, Parenti, and Colvin are talking to this new class. The kids are coming to the realization that they're going to be separated from everyone else. Even if they don't want to be in this class, it's mandatory for them. Miss Sampson says that they have shown they're not ready for a regular classroom. And when they show that they are, then they can go into the regular classroom. But Namond compares it to prison.
Yep.
Being in solitary versus being with the general population, Jen Poppy says. And Colvin kind of lights on that word solitary and uses it to his advantage. He wants to unsettle them, and it seems to work. Yeah,
it does seem to land with Namond in particular. And just an interesting note was that the way that Adius shot this scene was similar to how Colvin was talking to the drug dealers in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah,
in season 3. So a lot of going around the court, the dealers. This time they're going around the students, stuff like that. So pretty interesting. Yeah, I love that. I love little touches like that, just to show that synchronicity. And of course, like this is now something that is sort of politically incorrect that they're trying because it has this greater good. Just the same thing Amsterdam did. So that's how it kind of all comes together. So it sounds like Ed Burns saw something similar to this when he was actually a teacher.
Okay.
So just kind of interesting that they're introducing it here as well.
Okay. So, yeah. Prez visits Daniels at the Western about Randy, says that he's worried the system's going to chew him up. Daniels says that he'll keep it close and surprisingly suggests Carver. Prez is like, what?
Yep.
But here's that Carver has changed his ways. And when Daniels asks why he cares, Prez says he's his student. He just wants to protect him. It's very sweet.
Yep. Yeah, and just in case you forgot that in season 1, Carver was the inspiration for Prez and Herc going into the tower and him beating a 14-year-old.
Gosh.
So,
I forget that was Carver was the one with the idea.
Yeah, I think it wasn't.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So anyway, and then Daniels again, like he's just like this. I'm not sure what the term is, but he's looking at Prez's response. He's one of my students, and he just feels like Prez has turned out okay.
Yes.
And you can tell he's proud of it. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Carver visits Miss Anna, who then learns about what happened with Randy, how he acted as a messenger in Lex's murder, and also about the school incident. She's worried about his safety. If word gets out, maybe there might be something retaliatory. Says he's just showing bad judgment. But Carver reassures her, says Randy's not a bad kid, just, has made bad choices. So he's going to be all right.
Yeah.
I think. I hope.
From what he says, he was just a go-between. He delivered a message. He told the victim to be at a certain place at a certain time.
Then how does he know?
He says everyone knows what happened to Lex. It's in the streets.
This other thing at the school.
I swear I didn't do it, Miss Anna. I didn't do it. You'll see.
School's gonna look into that. We're gonna look into this. As long as Randy cooperates, tells everybody the truth.
But if word got out?
Understand. That's why he's gonna go to school, keep his mouth shut, his nose clean, go about his business.
Child shown such bad judgment in both instances.
Agreed. But from what I can tell, he's not a bad kid.
Okay. All right. I'm going to move into some election day affairs now.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff here, I guess.
Ooh, okay.
I was like, oh my God, there's like half my script left.
I know. We did like most of the storylines already, but not most of the action.
Right.
So polling stations are getting set up, right? We go to Dennis, who is quietly getting a drink from a fridge. He looks like he's in a tracksuit, and then he heads toward the door for his morning run, but down the stairs comes a woman in her robe. She is disappointed because she clearly wants something more from Dennis that he is not willing to give. He's not coming back. He gives her a kiss on the cheek, and he starts running, and as he does, we hear Move On Up playing over these scenes of the election day. So the volume increases, and we get a montage. So here's the montage. We have Gray voting first. There are camera snaps of him coming out of the voting booth. And then we're back to Dennis running. He goes by these signs that are for Royce. And we see Royce voting, smiling for the cameras. He's got a Pan-African print tie on, of course.
Very good.
Dennis runs past some people who have Carcetti shirts at the senior center. I was wondering, is it the senior center that had the Salisbury steak?
Oh,
Salisbury
that would be perfect,
steak.
yeah.
Carcetti votes and then is told that he needs to head to Highlandtown to stir up his base. So there's your montage.
Yep. Yeah, so first of all, that woman that Cuddy leaves, she is stunning. I don't know.
She's very beautiful.
I mean, Cuddy, what are you doing, man?
No,
why are you walking out on this woman?
He loves women.
I mean, yeah.
He says that later.
I'll also mention that Chad Coleman has good running form. I really appreciate his running form. So good job, Chad Coleman. Yeah, and then as you said, like the polling, the workers bringing the people in the wheelchairs into the vans to vote is just like in a mayoral race that can really make a difference.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
That's a nice touch. I liked how they just run by and it's something going on. So yeah, you haven't got to where Cuddy catches up with the spider.
No,
right?
not
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Okay, so Randy arrives at a polling station with Miss Anna. She's going to go in and vote. She tells him to go nowhere. And then he sees Spider, who's passing out campaign flyers for money. Dennis sees him, yells his name, but Spider takes off. And so he comes over. He asks Randy, where did he go? Randy doesn't know. A guy comes up and tries to give Dennis a flyer, but he says he cannot vote because he has a felony conviction. By the way, I looked it up. This changed in 2016 in Baltimore so that now you can vote after you have served your term of incarceration.
Nice.
Yes.
What up, Spider?
Hey, Short.
Thank you, but I know how I'm voting. I'm gonna be late for work.
Miss Anna, is it okay if I stand out here while you go vote?
Don't you go nowhere, boy.
Yes, ma'am. So what up, man? So how much they paying you for this?
Say like 40, but I gotta work the whole day though. You know what I mean?
Yo, that was Spider, right?
Yeah.
Well, where you go? No, thank you, man. I can't vote. Dixon? Move on, man. All right, man. You see Spider again, you tell him he need to come past my gym. He ain't been around in weeks, and we need to talk, all right?
Where's the older kid? Okay, you're hired. Shove one of those into every hand you can.
Dennis tells Randy to tell Spider to come to the gym. Then a campaign worker recruits Randy on the spot to pass out some flyers too. So eventually he's given a whole box to deliver. Miss Anna comes out. She gives him the okay, says he's not going to be on streets no more. And Randy then goes about recruiting Kennard, Donut, and Dookie to help him out. Donut says it would be easier if they had a car. Randy says he's been in enough trouble without Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
But he's still later in a car that Donut's driving, so I guess he got convinced. The others decide the work is too boring, and they find out, too, he's already got the money.
Yeah.
What's the point? You got the money. He's like, well, we didn't finish it. Well, that's that guy's problem, not yours. But he goes about paying them for their unfinished day of work and finish the job on his own. So seems like he's turned a new leaf. We do see, though, later that night he's doing his homework and Miss Anna's kind of still shaking her head at him.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yo, what up? Where y'all going?
Hungry, man. I need to eat.
Nah, come on, let's finish this.
Nah, yo, this shit is boring.
Fuck it.
Yo, listen, man, I ain't even gonna pay y'all if y'all don't finish the job, so.
You already got the money?
Fool, the motherfucker paid you out already. Then why the hell are we still here?
Cause this is the job.
Shit, the man ain't got nobody to blame but himself. It's his fault for paying up front. Yo, you need to split that money up or something, cause time is a wasting.
Can't even finish the day's work. Give me something at least. Lake trout.
Soda too?
Yeah, strawberry.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, so just to back up a little bit.
Yep.
Let's see where it was. Oh, the interaction with the poll worker and talking to Cuddy, or Dennis, I should I love that. He's like, move along, man.
Move along, man. No, she's like asking too many questions. Felony? What you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so the money that the guy gives, the election worker gives to Randy, that is the walk around money. So that's what it's used for.
Walk around money.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So basically paying people to help with the election on the day of, things like that. Yeah. And going from door to door.
It's literally walk around.
Correct.
Pass out things.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it could be as like, to me it was like as corrupt as like, oh, I'm just gonna pay for lunches and stuff. And
that was kind of what I thought it was.
But that is also what it's used for.
Yeah,
like this
okay,
anyway,
right.
So it's not also corrupt and whatever, cynical, if you don't.
Interesting.
Want. Randy gives a sweatshirt to Dookie, which I thought was a nice touch.
Oh yeah.
So that was nice of Randy.
Good point.
Yeah, and and it drives it home. Not that you really need to know it anymore, but like, Randy is not only like industrious, he's trying to like, make money in any way that he can, but also he had a code of ethics too, right?
Yeah.
In that he's like, well, the guy paid me to do this, so I'm going to do it. And he's like, it doesn't matter that I already have the money, I'm going to finish the job. So there's that too. They did want to mention that Donut was not actually driving the car. They actually had a stunt driver on the floor pushing the pedals. So that's pretty funny. I don't know how the wheels, how the steering wheel works in that situation, but anyway, and then I think that covers that. So just a couple of little nice touches there. So
that's funny. I do like that he asked him to get him a strawberry soda and lake trout.
Yeah, it's
something.
Exactly. Yeah, lake trout and strawberry soda. It is interesting too that Dookie was the one who got it for him instead of Donut and Kennard.
I know Dookie needs the money the most.
But Dookie's good-hearted too. So
he is. Okay, we do just quick scene of Greggs and Norris who are working the polls. Greggs is a little bitter about it all.
A little bit.
11 o'clock news, huh?
Shut up.
I'm on this shit detailed because you wanted to stir the pot. And tomorrow, if we bust open the Braddock case, nobody's gonna give a fuck.
Life is timing.
No shit, fuck nuts.
A little bit. Okay, back to Carcetti. So this part, I have to go back and forth between a lot of people. I'm trying to condense as much as I can storylines, but it's hard to condense them all. Mm-hmm. Carcetti's still working every potential voter that passes by. There's a white woman who says he doesn't have to worry about her. He appreciates her vote and also her looks.
Yes. You notice that?
Yes. Well, Wilson notices it even more.
Yeah.
And then we have this other white voter who knew Carcetti's dad and says some really important things.
Yep.
It's expected for politicians to steal, that it's their turn now. He uses a slur for black people. And Wilson's in the background the whole time.
Yeah.
Carcetti looks kind of, pretty upset with what he's saying and is not agreeing with him, but the guy won't even listen.
Right.
But Wilson is kind of darkly amused by it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. His face. Norman's face when the guy used the term, it's just Reggie Cathy, he does this little smirk and just kind of like this, like, are you a real person right now? You have to go by. I think we'll have to put a still in.
Yes, we should. Oh, I'll look for that one.
It's so good. Yeah, that it's just it's an interesting, what's the word? Dilemma that Carcetti is in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because
he needs
every
votes,
vote counts, but I gotta put up with this guy's bullshit. So
Tony Carcetti running for mayor. Nice to meet you. How much longer?
I think we can wrap this up. We got a lot more places to be today.
Tommy Carcetti. I knew your dad. First District Democratic Club.
Oh, no kidding.
Just wanted to say you got my vote.
Thank you.
They had their chance. Look what shape the city's in.
I'm hoping to turn things around. Anyway, thanks for your support.
I mean, you expect politicians to steal.
I don't, actually.
Part of the game, I understand that. But we took $1 out of every 3. Not 2 out of 3 like these moolies. I mean, leave something for the city, for Christ's sake. Am I right? Best of luck, Council.
Moolies?
Sorry.
All right. Well, Dennis is flirting with a new woman at the gym. Oh my gosh, Dennis, making it hard for me to like you so much.
Yep.
Namond comes in. This is when he talks to Michael about getting him to join on the package, which I mentioned before. Michael says, that's your thing. Leaves it alone. Dennis comes over to Michael then and talks about the lady that he was kind of flirting with earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Says he loves the women. He's trying to get Michael to kind of open up and like him a little bit more. I guess that's why he's doing that. He does try to talk to him about Spider quitting and how he doesn't understand it. Michael says, why don't you ask his moms?
Mm-hmm.
And then he does motion to the woman that he was flirting with before and her little boy that's with him. Dennis is like, I was locked up for a while, and I'm no angel. And Michael says, no, you ain't that.
Yep.
Dennis got to keep it in his pants. That's what we're learning here.
That was a straight right hook to the face. Or
Don't
whatever.
mess with boys' mamas.
Yeah.
That is a special relationship.
Indeed.
You're a cute one, ain't you? Yeah, boy. I love the women. Hey, you seen Spider around, didn't he? I mean, he ain't been around the gym in like a month, man. I leave messages, he don't call. I don't understand, man. He's one of my best welterweights. Now, why we just quit like that?
Why don't you ask his moms?
Well, shit. I was locked up a good while, right? I mean, I ain't no angel.
Nah, you ain't that.
Yeah, not much really more to it, I guess, but except, so there were one thing that I wasn't sure, I didn't know your read on it, because, so your assumption about Michael,
yes,
and that he was sexually abused,
yes,
I was wondering if that was Cuddy's or Dennis's read on it as well, because when Michael jumped out of the
be like,
van.
I'm very straight. I really like women.
Exactly.
Yeah, I kind of wondered that also.
So not sure if that's where he was. That's what his approach was, or if he was just trying to like connect with Michael.
Like you're a teenage boy. Exactly. You like women too.
Yeah. And then Chad Coleman's response after kind of hearing this from Michael and getting this raw, this unvarnished truth. I just like how he looks back, and then you just see like the weight of what he's done on his face, and so so nice bit of acting between the two of them. So
all right, back at HQ, Carcetti sees Davis on TV openly endorsing Royce, despite taking their money.
Yep.
And they say, well, Davis probably shook down Royce for $30,000, so don't feel bad.
Right.
That night, Jen and Carcetti ignore their ringing phones. The early returns look good for Carcetti. Jen says, let's get away from this. Let's go for a walk. So they do. They joke a little bit about how he's going to have to clean up the stinky port. That would be expected.
Right.
She thinks he's going to win, and he thinks he could really do something to improve Baltimore. They're having a nice time. The call comes in then, and he finds out Royce has conceded.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't look happy at first. He's just kind of reporting the news. And then Jen asks, are you happy? And he convinces himself that he is. And finally, he smiles and they hug. He won.
Yep. Yeah, I think, so the guys mentioned that 40% of the black vote in the first district is unbelievably good.
Okay.
So when he was getting 2 out of every 5 votes, that's
okay.
That's very good. Do you feel like this is like what they say, like a fear of success? Like if he wins, now he's got to actually go do the job.
Real.
He can't just complain about it anymore and stuff like that. So that's how I kind of read it too.
Yeah, either that or like he's also like just so stuck in the mode of just putting out fires and being fired up that it's hard to like shift gears to being like, wait, I don't have to do that. I don't have to worry about like it happened. I won.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There probably is that too.
Some of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, at the celebration, Carcetti thanks his supporters. He calls for unity, and he basically is going to be able to win the whole thing and be mayor because more Baltimoreans are apparently Democrats than Republicans. They kind of make a joke about the Republican contender and whether there is one. They all chant his name, Tommy, Tommy. We hear, we are family. And then there's a moment where Campbell congratulates him. She was going for a city council seat, right?
She's a city council president.
She's a city council president. Okay, got it. Jen is exhausted. They got kids. She goes home early. They kiss goodnight. Davis shows up. No shame about his betrayal.
Right.
And even says he took it easy on him.
Yep.
Yeah. God. What a character.
Yeah.
What a fabulous character he is.
Yep.
Okay, shall I keep going?
Yeah, I mean, this Carcetti hates Clay Davis's guts. But it's just like, it's such a necessary evil.
God, I just please let Clay Davis get his by the end of this series.
Okay.
That's all I want. Okay, later we've got Jerry, Wilson, Carcetti, D'Agostino having a little party for themselves at a hotel room, and they tell the story about the racial slur, and Wilson says, vote's a vote. He doesn't care.
Yep.
They ask how he voted, and he jokes about the sanctity of his vote as a cornerstone of American democracy.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Jerry and Wilson get up and leave, and Carcetti says he should go, but D'Agostino asks for one more for the road, and you know what's going to happen because she comes up behind him. She's all slinky like the way she's walking, says, oh, you promised me a win bonus. And then she starts making out with him, and he gets into it and then pulls away, says he can't do it. She says, oh, you're feeling mayoral, and tries again, but he ultimately turns her down, and that time with more resolve. Even though she like sticks her hand in his shirt, like, geez, Louise, lady. Whew. She's got quite the sex drive.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, she leaves with maybe you have learned something and write me a check.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, so the thought I had about this is this kind of connected back to the sermon about hating covetousness?
So yes.
And so that okay.
Yeah,
so
that's that. When I heard the sermon on my second watch through, that was the connection point for me. The covetousness, and then this moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so much goes on in this episode that it would be easy to lose that. So
yeah, no, but when you do pick it up, the parallels are just so good.
Yeah. Well, because what the guys were saying on the commentary was that it almost feels like he doesn't know why he's doing it, why he's not doing it.
Yeah.
He's like kind of confused as to like, I have to stop. And so it just one of those things where the seed was planted and it actually took root, and so interesting stuff. Yeah. And he's going to try to be an ethical mayor.
I hope.
So, yep. And, there's something kind of, I like the way that Teresa, I can't remember her name, the actor, but she doesn't, she walks out with her kind of feel like her head up.
Yeah.
She's not ashamed. She's
not.
Just like,
she's just kind of like, well,
this was almost like a transaction, and it didn't go the way that I was expecting. So, okay, well, I'll get my, bonus another way.
Brandy Bure?
Sure.
Is that her name?
Okay.
There you go.
Good job.
Okay.
Thank you for looking that up.
Yep.
But and I just like the joke is like, man, Carcetti, like, I don't know how much of a win bonus it would have been, $25,000 or something. It's like, that's how much your Carcetti is worth. Man, that guy's got to be good. So
seriously.
Anyway, no, but that's it. Yeah, so it's a interesting end to the to that storyline.
Okay, last storyline is Omar and Arrested Omar. Okay, so I got to back up here because this is stuff that happened before Election Day first. We have Mello briefing his shift this is where he starts out saying that they're short on the polling station coverage. He then announces the murder warrant for Omar. Anyone know this mutt? He asks, who has been accused of shooting a delivery woman. McNulty doubts that Omar would kill a citizen, a taxpayer they call him, but Colicchio and Santangelo seem eager to get Omar.
And given that we still have a shortage of officers willing to work secondary at the polling stations, we're asking for anyone interested to contact Tactical this afternoon. Next order of business, fresh warrants. Beginning with murder and weapons charges, one Omar Little. Anyone know this mutt?
Oh, yeah. Who'd he kill?
Some lady in the store. Reads like a taxpayer.
Taxpayer?
What this says, he's charged with felony homicide, to wit, murder and the commission of a robbery.
About fucking time someone got some paper on that motherfucker.
Anyhow, we got no fixed address, no known abode. But if apprehended, contact Detectives Holling and Crutchfield and Homicide.
You want to find Omar Little? You look for a corner boy running away from a corner with shit in his pants.
You ever know Omar to do a citizen?
Yeah, I'll just mention that. So Mello is the real Jane Landsman.
Yes.
And he has the second best Baltimore accent in the show.
After
or maybe
Donnelly.
after Donnelly.
Yeah.
And there's a podcast called Pod Yourself the Wire, they're a rewatch podcast as well. And I just remember when the first time I heard it, just no known abode.
No known abode.
No known abode.
I
They
know.
said it should be illegal for a Baltimore person to say those 3 words in a row. Just like, it's just like
hilarious.
Just so like that is what other words could you throw in there that would hit the Baltimore accent? So I appreciated that.
Oh my gosh.
But and as we said, you said Santangelo and Colicchio are of the Herc mindset.
Yes.
And McNulty is immediately suspicious.
Yes,
Yeah.
he knows this is not right.
Yep.
Okay, Omar is at a convenience store. He looks up and he sees a cop car in that, I don't know, what do you call those mirrors that are up in the corner? You know what I'm talking
the
about.
curved
though.
mirrors. Yeah,
Curved
I guess.
mirrors
I
up
don't
in the
know,
corner.
but there's a better word for it. I'm
Okay.
sure,
He says to the clerk that he's going to get a cold one. He goes back to a refrigerator and then hides his gun in it. And as he exits, Walker stops him. Omar knows it's Walker, so apparently everybody knows Walker. He frisks Omar pretty roughly, steals the ring that Omar, we know, took from Marlo when he held up the poker game, and roughs him up, pushes him down to the ground. McNulty and Colicchio and some other officers pull up. Walker tells Omar he's being arrested for murder. When Omar sees McNulty, he asks what's going on. McNulty, is like, you tell me, like, you're being arrested for murder. Before he goes in the wagon, Omar asks for a phone. So McNulty gives him a phone, calls Butchie's number. We don't know it's Butchie at the moment, but then
Right.
you can tell he's talking to Butchie. Tells him this is not a bail situation, unfortunately. This is murder. He's not getting out on bail. And Butchie says he's got him, though. So, okay, what does that mean?
Grab the wall.
Officer Walker.
I ain't gonna be out here strapped.
Oh, you gonna take that on the humble?
Boy, you don't know there's rules to this here game.
Rules?
Yeah.
Where your shotgun at, Mr. Omar?
What is wrong with y'all, man? You only got no charges here.
Charge is murder, motherfucker.
Murder? Who I kill?
Hey, Omar.
You know what the hell going on here, yo?
You tell me. We got a warrant for a robbery murder in a store.
Wagon's here.
Hey, yo, McNulty, I need a phone, yo. Fuck. I'm going to Bookers. I need to make a call tonight, yo.
410 958 6612. And let it ring. Here. Yo, Butcher, I'm locked up, yo. Nah, ain't no bail. They saying it's murder. Yeah.
Some kind of Democrat or what?
We go to jail. There's inmates just hollering and just like going angry, shit angry, right? They recognize Omar, right? Because he has probably robbed a lot of them. Like a lot of them are probably dealers that he has robbed. And it's terrifying because like every window, even every cell, there's people all the way up to the edge of it yelling at him. You get the idea that he's going to die that night and that he himself is coming to accept it. And then he gets put in a cell. He's in there alone for a moment. Later, two men enter the cell. One takes out a knife, kind of fingers the knife. Omar puts his dukes up and finds out that they are there to protect him on Butchie's orders. Whew. I breathed a sigh of relief. I was really nervous for this. Okay, we find out one is there for a 2255, which means a federal convict who's temporarily returned to his state for a rehearing. And the other one says he's there because he talked back.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Okay. Well, I have to correct you.
Okay.
So 2255, at least from what I saw, is being arrested for disrespecting a police officer.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I was really confused. I looked it up. Let's see, 2255 Baltimore Police Code. But I mean, you're probably right. That sounds like it makes way more sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then he said I talk back, so I kind of figured it was the same thing.
Okay.
So there's that, which is kind of I don't know, but we'll find out. I mean, the interesting thing is like, so they go and get arrested, and then they're able to get into the jail cell with Omar. So it's a nice bit of like, storytelling, of course. There was the tension point of like how Omar is about to get murdered, right? And then it all flips around, and now he's got two compatriots with him. So what were you gonna say?
Well, I'm just looking at the Wire fandom, and in the notes it says that 2255 refers to a federal convict who's temporarily returned to his state for a rehearing, and that David Simon mentioned that this character was played by an actual prisoner who was in jail for just such a hearing and agreed to appear on the show. I don't know where this is all from. I'll let you look it up yourself, my friend, because you know
because the actor with the knife, his name is, I think it's either Larry Andrews.
Okay.
He is the inspiration for Omar. So and then the other guy, Daryl Purvey, he was just a security guard, I think, that worked on the set. But they needed a large black guy to play the role. So
all right, so it's
possible,
like,
but it's possible that
the Wire fandom got it wrong.
I mean, maybe we'll have to discuss later. Okay. We'll clarify. We'll do some clarifications. But
guys, what do you think? Chris or the Wire fandom?
Well, you know what? I think I got mine. I think I got mine from the Urban Dictionary. So
I trust the Urban Dictionary.
But it is. I'm fascinated to know like where David Simon said that. So
yeah.
And then backing up just a little bit. So just mentioning David Simon. So I actually don't know what David Simon's actual politics are, but I know he hates Trump. So he's definitely like opposite of whatever that is these days. But the comment from Santangelo, you some kind of Democrat or what, I just thought was kind of funny. Just in general, that felt very much like Simon talking about like, just lock him up and throw away the key is the way to approach, any crime, criminal, anybody suspected of committing a crime. So, and I think that there's just I just like the fact that McNulty throws Omar this lifeline just by showing up, and he's he's like, hey Omar, he's lying on the ground.
Exactly.
Like, hey, Omar, how's it going? But then Omar had like built up this good relationship with him, and then when he needed help, there he was. So that was something. We've said this a few times.
I mean,
before.
they went clothes shopping together. Right. Like they're super close.
Yeah. So, and then the last bit about Omar being walked through the jail, so David Simon actually wanted him to show some fear. And Ed Burns stepped in and said, no. He's got to be absolutely stone-faced, cannot possibly care. Because if he was showing fear, then that would be it. That would be the end of it. So, by going in and being, just confident.
Right.
It's a really important thing. Of course, Michael K. Williams plays it perfectly.
Perfectly.
And then he gets into the cell, and I think he lets it break a little bit because he knows he's not.
Yes,
so,
I
really
agree.
Nice
because that's what releases the moment, oh shit, he knows that he's gonna get shivved in the middle of the night or something. Yeah.
Yep. But that takes us to the end, right?
That was good. Yeah.
Okay.
We're at the end.
I'm sure you're excited to see what happens.
Oh my God, yes. I'm so excited. I've got my predictions whenever you're ready.
Okay, well, we have a few things. We have a few categories to get through. But first, forgot to mention, I only mentioned All in the Game once, but there was the racist voter also said part of the game. So I thought that was, and then Omar also said, "Don't you know the rules to this game?" So a little bit of the game being, again, coming out in this episode, which I feel like we need to tend to that a little bit more. Okay, so let's get to our music. The church choir singing "Lead Me, Guide Me" is the song that they sang. Pretty much right on the money in terms of symbolism there. "Move On Up," as you caught by Curtis Mayfield, is when Cuddy's jogging through and there's the montage. This is one of the rare times where I think we kind of assume that it's the music he's listening to on his headphones, though of course the music is actually playing as part of the soundtrack. So it's one of those rare times in The Wire where the music is not part of the environment. So just kind of a cool little thing. And I think that song might have been the inspiration for why I wanted to talk about the music in general. But anyway, no, I already said it was the Kool and the Gang, the Almighty Dollar song from when Orlando got arrested. But anyway, sorry, that's beside the point. "Give It to Me, Baby" by Rick James is playing in the convenience store, right? When Omar's in the convenience store.
Right.
So, I'm not sure if much there is to that, but Got to Let It Go by Angela Johnson is when Namond comes home and Delonda is asking how he's doing with his package. By the way, the guy, I don't think I noticed it the first time, but this time, just she's halfway through a bottle of Jack Daniels when Namond comes home, just looking just absolutely wrecked, which I just didn't,
that's right.
didn't
I
really
forgot
appreciate.
About that. Yeah.
And then you said "We Are Family" by Sister Sledge is at Carcetti's Victory. So there you go.
Okay.
That's the music. Okay, so then got to mention a couple of a little bit longer of the killer cameos. So told you before we started recording. Turns out that IMDb has all of the actor names for every person that appears in The Wire. So sorry, I'm going to try to do some recent corrections. So Crystal Judkins, who was helping Ms Donnelly in episode 3, I think, or 2, her name is Destiny Jackson Evans. So good job, Destiny.
Good job, Destiny.
Letitia, it was played by Charmaine McPhee. She was the girl who slashed Shaquan's face, and Shaquan is played by Tiffany Holland. So, just want to mention those people. All right. So that gets us to this episode's killer cameos. So anybody that stands out to you?
The Reverend.
Reverend, yes.
Yeah.
Reverend Reed, very good.
Okay.
So we'll put him on. I actually did not have him on the list, but of course you're correct. No, you're 100% right. I don't know why.
That was the one that really stands out to me.
Oh yeah, we might have to give it to him. I like the teacher that said, "You're only taking 3 of my knuckleheads."
That was really good
I don't know why. I like the poll worker who was talking to Cuddy. So and speaking of,
that was good. Yeah.
So Reverend Reed, he was the actual Reverend. So that's his name. The poll worker was played by Ernest Glover. Did I say the racist voter? Yeah.
No, you have not mentioned the racist voter. That was really good too. Yes.
He's played by Jack Seeley, and then the woman on the train who talks to Marlo. Who comes out? I thought she was. I thought she was pretty good too. She's played by Queen Nzinga Ama Linton.
Oh wow!
But I think Reverend Reed is the winner for us. So
that's the one that I would still go for.
He really did.
Yeah.
You're right. I can't believe I.
How could you not? Reverend Reed.
Terrible. I'm an embarrassment, Ellie. So, okay.
Never.
All right. Well, thank you for saving us once again. That's our third save this episode. Okay. Well, that gets us to the life lessons. So, anything that stands out to you this time?
I would say, don't mess with the boy's mama.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mess with people's family.
Yeah. No, 100%.
That is probably one of them. And then just, I don't know, I like that Prez is letting these guys into his heart.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the lesson is there. Just that leads to good things.
Yeah.
I don't know, for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about it before, I think, but like, you know, if you're not sure what you can do, just help people in some way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, I like it too, and
It's
actually
giving me joy.
Good. Well, the thing I had about it was, you know, even when people need help, they don't want to feel like it's charity. Like some people have trouble accepting help unasked for and without any strings attached.
Right.
And what I like about what Prez does is he like just calls Dookie over, doesn't make it, he just keeps it all very discreet. He's, you know, don't make charity.
Yep.
So the lesson I took it was don't make charity seem like charity. If you're trying to help somebody out, just do it. Don't make a big thing about it. Like the best thing you can do is like hand some, you know, if you're like, you know, making a meal for somebody, hand it off.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Yes.
I'll see you in a little while and leave it there.
Yes.
Don't make it linger because it gets weird, and that's what he does there. So I just like that, and I agree. Like the way that he's trying to reach these people, and actually, and so that leads me to my next one. And Prez is like even though he wasn't in the episode too much, I guess he was. I liked how somebody asked like, why do you flip the denominator? Or was it the one before that? He's like, what does invert mean? She says, what does invert mean? He's like, flip over. And I really felt like he respected the questions. Like he was, the fact that they were engaged at all, he was like, you know, I will acknowledge your question. I will answer it.
Instead of like, well, you should know that.
Exactly.
I already said that.
Yeah. So I just, you know, and so people are going to, I feel like one of the worst things you can do is make people feel bad about asking a question.
Yeah.
And trying to learn more. And
yep.
so like, and he just did not make, you know, the worst thing he did, which is not that bad, was he's like, because it works.
Yeah.
Like it's like a little bit of like, because I said so, but not
exactly.
quite that bad.
Yeah.
So a little tricky. This next one, I think I might have already mentioned it, but in, you know, Randy talking to Ms Donnelly, if you are ever questioned by the police, do not talk to the police. There's a video.
Yeah.
There's a video about this guy. Now, I think he's talking about
like know your rights.
If you're accused, like if the police say we need to talk to you about this, what happened here, do not say anything. There's a whole video where this guy basically broke it all down, and it's really not in your best interest. If you need to talk or if you want to help, have a lawyer with you. Make sure that you have somebody there to protect you protect your rights.
Right.
So if nothing else. So in that case, I thought
don't run either. But
absolutely right. Just be like, you know what? I'm happy to talk to you. I would like to have a lawyer with you. And leave it there. And they know they can be like, well, it'll make things. I don't care. Just want to have a lawyer.
Right.
Don't care. I want a lawyer. I don't care. I want a lawyer. Just keep repeating that until they let you get your lawyer.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
And with the case of Randy, it's tricky because like I trying to think about like what would he say, and he's like, I don't know what if he just said I don't know what she's talking about, and be like, what do you know? And I don't know what she's talking about, and just kept repeating it.
Yeah.
Then, you know, he would, but immediately as soon as he starts talking, he's already contradicting himself.
He is.
And now she knows he's involved, and that's it. So it's bad. So yeah, it's a little cynical, and what's the word? I don't know. I'm trying to think of what's the word when you think the worst of people? I guess that's what it is. Pessimistic. I suppose.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
you know,
yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So,
but
I don't know. You have misgivings about this one? I'm getting a sense.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. Like that is, you have to protect yourself, and you know, hopefully you're not in that kind of situation, but some of us are not blessed that way. And so you do really, you know, I think about a lot of people too that are, you know, like immigrants who are, you know, being detained and maybe don't know what their rights are. And you got to know your rights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So just keep your, keep your mouth closed and ask for a lawyer or whatever.
You always have the right to a lawyer.
What the next step of the process should be, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you always have the right to be represented by an attorney.
Yeah.
When you're talking to the police.
Right.
Take advantage of that right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, if you're talking and you're like a witness to a crime, then having a lawyer there is not a bad thing.
Exactly. This is not about you trying to prevent justice from being done. It's just making sure that while that happens, you are not doing something to incriminate yourself or whatever.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, hey, because a lot of times what'll happen is like you forget what you said before and they got you in a contradiction because you're like, oh, I said that. Oh, I didn't mean that. And then, but now you look guiltier than you did before.
Right.
So, anyway, things like that.
I could see that totally.
So anyway, and then finally, so back to Reverend Reed. Interestingly, I forgot him as a killer cameo, but we are in the world of politics and it's hard to avoid these days. I liked how Reverend Reed said, I will keep an open mind, and I feel like when it comes to racial identity politics in particular, I certainly understand why an African-American person would vote for an African-American official irrespective of policy, because at the root, they have this common bond that no matter that it would just not be shared by somebody of a different race.
Right.
So the fact that Reverend Reed was like, I will keep an open mind. I will try to evaluate honestly. Even if at the end of the day, Reverend Reed still weighs someone being of the same race, 90% of why he's voting is race based.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he's leaving that 10% open, I feel like shows that he is willing to listen to and challenge his own what's the word? Not prejudice. What's the word? I'm forgetting the term.
Preconceptions.
Thank you. Yes, like these
preconceived notions.
Perfect. Thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for. And that is a really important skill to have. Like not only with voting, not only with politics, whatever, but it's like, what preconceived notions am I carrying around?
Yeah.
And it's almost like, I was trying to figure out a way to wedge this in. So here it is. So, when Bodhi says to Namond, now I know why you is what you is.
Yeah.
It's all based on Namond and his experience growing up with Delonda as his mom.
Right.
And Weebay as his dad. And, I think that it's important to kind of, for Namond to recognize, like, this is who I am now. This is who I am as a person, and here are my strengths and weaknesses. And he is all about like putting up a front and ignoring his tendencies and ignoring his weaknesses and trying to put up strengths that he doesn't have and not challenging his own perception of himself. And he's trying to instead just project something and it's working against him in a way. And so the same thing with just like keep an open mind, not only for, about your own preconceived notions, so you can figure out like, oh, this actually doesn't fit with who I am anymore. I'm now like, I've changed a little bit, and that's okay. It's okay to like be like, hey, I no longer believe this because I learned something new, and I'm willing to change perspectives on this, and and live my life in a new way that aligns with these new values that I developed. So and I guess that's it.
I like it. Thank you.
I talked for 5 minutes.
Wedging that in there.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, I was hoping for something, but anyway, I keep like reaching for these life lessons and I'm searching for validation from Ellie, but nothing. No, I gotta keep.
No, I agree with you. I don't know. There. Yes. My answer is yes.
I'm fishing.
Okay, sorry. I just don't like.
No,
you said it all. Like I don't know. I don't have anything to say. Is the thing.
Chris, you talked for 25 minutes. No. What else is there to say, Chris?
I don't mean like that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Thank you, Ellie. No, sorry. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, next time I'm just going to need a little more, Ellie.
I'm going to give you a little more next time.
It's okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see.
Sorry, sometimes I like looking at my predictions to make sure that they make sense while you're doing your
Oh, is that
thing.
right?
So I get like a little lost in the thread because I'm like, does that prediction make sense that I'm going to say that? So that's maybe why like I don't
totally
mean to.
Fine.
Okay.
That is totally fine. I definitely appreciate the honesty. Now it makes a little more sense. I'll take it anyway, regardless.
Okay.
So, I think that one thing I'll just mention is that how well did the episode hold up? I feel like, this is as true as it ever was.
I agree.
So
all the stuff around the election. Yeah. I mean, 100%.
Yeah. So anyway, politics are so far unchanged.
Oh my gosh.
And there's just one other thing too, where I just feel like there's something really interesting about the line that the school administrators have to walk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
Did you see that? You must have seen stuff like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. There's stuff where I was surprised when administrators, I was in a meeting with a parent and a girl. We had found out, and there was our vice principal was there. The girl did not realize she was intimate with another boy. He videotaped them. He shared the videotapes. This is before cell phones and stuff like that.
Wow.
He had a video camera that he had hidden in there.
Jesus Christ.
And he shared it with all of the friends. She found out. She was Korean. Her mom was like fucking flipping out.
Sure.
Now, corporal punishment in Korean culture, pretty common. But she, like at that meeting, said almost the exact words, "I'm going to beat her ass when we get home." And I kind of was looking at the vice principal like, are you going to, shouldn't that be like reported or something like that? And she did nothing. So, because you're a mandatory reporter, even if it's like spanking or something, you are required. But I kept looking, I was a new teacher and I was like looking to the vice principal for cues, nothing. So it was so weird. And I was just thinking like, she went home and her mom beat her ass for being with a boy and being dumb enough to get caught on video and yada, yada, yada. That girl ended up moving to a different school. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways.
Wow, that's...
Yeah, it's walking a line. School administrators do. Some of them walk it really well and some of them not so much.
Did anything happen to the boy? Please
I don't
tell
know.
me something, Dan.
I don't know. She was an 8th grader, middle school. He was in high school. He was like a freshman or a sophomore. So I don't know what happened with him. I hope he was suspended or something. I hope everybody that was involved with passing the video around was suspended or something. But
yeah.
I doubt that happened.
Let's do better, people.
Let's do better.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that sucks. But,
I know.
Because it's like I'm just like, oh, Donnelly, you fucking suck.
I know.
Why are you doing this to Randy? But, she
right.
It's a rape. It's a rape.
Exactly.
And, what's she going to do?
Yes.
And then, and at least for the most part, all the facts line up.
Yeah.
So it's like, anyway, so that's the whole thing. I don't know. Do you think that it was unjust that she didn't take Randy's comment that Tiff walked in voluntarily?
No, because I don't know. I think it's right to defer to believing victims or at least people that say they're victims. Yeah. So I don't know. She probably should have probed it a little bit more. Like, what makes you think that she wanted it? What did you see? What did they say? What was it like that? Maybe that would have been the right move.
Right. I think, 100%.
Instead of completely discounting it.
Right. Yeah. The trust but verify is always is the watchword. It's like, okay, so this person is, Tiff is making this claim.
Right.
Okay, let's listen.
What did I see? Well, she was waiting by the bathroom with them. She had her arms folded.
Yeah.
She was standing comfortably.
And then she's like, okay, now I have this new information. Do I go? And then and go back and forth.
Right.
So, okay. It's not, believe me, I'm not at all saying discount anything on either end. It's just continually try to gather facts.
Yes.
Whereas Donnelly, it felt like she just disregarded what Randy was saying.
Oh,
but on the other hand, there are only so many minutes in the show, so gotta move on. All right, let's stop.
Speaking of minutes in a show,
yes, okay, we're doing pretty good. So we're almost like 50, we're almost 25% better than last time. So okay, let's get to your predictions, Ellie. The most exciting part of the show.
All right.
What do you got?
Okay, so Omar, this is the one that I am really conflicted on.
Okay.
Here's what I think. I think he is going to... he can't really turn to McNulty for help anymore, but he can turn to Bunk. He's got a relationship to Bunk. So I think he will try to get a message to Bunk, maybe through Butchie or whatever. But I think Bunk will say, you shafted me with Kimmy's death info. Like, you thought you could just make it better by giving me the gun, and that he's not going to do anything to help Omar. So I think Omar's going to reach out to Bunk, but Bunk is like, screw you. Okay.
It was Tasha, by the way.
Tasha, sorry,
but
not Tasha.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, Tasha.
I just got to make sure that,
Yep.
But, okay.
Okay.
Good one.
Carcetti, I think, is going to... I'm not sure if it's the next episode. I kind of feel like he's going to look into the police department and do some cleaning up of Royce's people. And I think Burrell is out. I hope Burrell is out. This is what I want to happen. Okay, I think Dennis will keep it in his pants the next episode.
Okay.
I think Prez is going to make more headway with his students.
Okay.
We're going to continue on that trajectory. I think Randy, too, is going to continue being a good boy. But I think someone is going to find out that he snitched.
Okay.
Herc is going to try a different angle to get Marlo. I mean, I feel like he's going to have Marimo on his ass.
Okay.
I just don't know what he can try. So he knows that Marlo, well, I assume he knows that Marlo knows that he is being filmed.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's going to have to try something else.
Okay.
They're obviously not going to be using that spot anymore, or they're going to destroy the cameras or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what the new approach will be.
Okay.
That's all I have.
That is very comprehensive.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll leave it there then.
Okay.
All right. Well, Ellie, thank you. This was definitely one of the more interesting episodes between you and me.
Oh, yes.
Like this episode sounds like this one is I'm now really excited because we're really hitting this is the halfway mark, or almost halfway mark. There are 13 episodes in the season, so I guess it's like we got a little bit more to go, but nevertheless, this episode between the two of us is definitely one that I'm gonna listen to a few times. So anyway, but Ellie, thank you all as always. So we will be back next week to cover season 4, episode 7, Unto Others.
Unto Others.
But until then, Ellie, thank you as always.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Wired and Rewired podcast is Ellie Peterson and me, Chris Aronchek. Our theme song is Nice Vibes by Neon Beach. Want to holler at us? You can email us at wiredandrewired@gmail.com or hit us on the burner at 240-488-0060 to leave us a voicemail. We're Wired and Rewired on all the socials. And of course, if you like the show, please give us a rating and review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. It helps other Wire fans discover the show. And until next time...
You ain't in these streets no more.